the ceiling.
All week.
Trying to figure out how you feeling.
All week.
You had some shit you had to deal with.
All week.
Well, so did I. Don't you fucking work for me. Don't you fucking work for me. Don't you fucking work for me. Oh, that's right. Hey, don't you fucking work for me. Don't you fucking work for me. Don't you fucking work for me. Oh, that's right. Hey, they say swearing is a sign of intelligence. That's why all these fuckers trying to run are irrelevant. Like everybody bombing a review for percentages. Mermaid money greener than the river in Venice is. Hoping you gon' hit the right targets with recalls. Then watch your stock dip into the end of a free fall. Blizzard trying to see the glory. Activision used the scoring, clean up allegations. That's why they call it a cover story. Woo! You might not get the news out in Cali. Almost every show that I watch just had a series finale. Pedro chilling here at the table, people calling him daddy. Al Pacino 83 and people calling him daddy. I'm getting pressed, yeah. I'm not impressed, yeah. The Senate telling college students make the check clear. It's looking sus, dear. Like a building inspection. A terror read on Russian TV saying that she defected. That fucking audio that leaked just might as well be confession. You fucking knew it's classified, so what the fuck is the question? You should be arrested. Some people still ain't getting the message. Like police and Billie Eilish for the way that she dresses. Don't you fucking work for me. Come on. Don't you fucking work for me. Don't you fucking work for me. Well, that's alright. It's my fault if we default. I remember when my checks will never resolve. On my job goes, keep your mouth closed. Vote the people off like they was George Janko. Almost let us drown, then got it figured out. And just like that, you drop the bullshit like you Kim Cattrall. You like that one group member when the project is due, phoning it in and taking credit cause you bought all the glue. Maybe I should just go hang out with the aliens. Humanity in trouble if the AI get too salient. You mad about them stupid shit like FaceTime and Grace DM. Bully out the clan cause you're too shitty to make a friend. Anti-gay laws in Uganda, you could get killed if they found you watching CRUZ call it out and then Twitter gets it announced. And oh, that's too woke for you bitches, too much diversity chicken. Like you go to the fucking cookout and get mad when they season. Man, I'm tired of this shit. All these people hear the worst, like the 5% of critics who bitch on the Spider-Verse. I'm staying up on the nights trying to make all the hype work, like a Taylor Swift fan who just shit in their diaper. Ooh, too soon? Why? Why was that an option? Whew, I have had a hell of a week, guys. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching Freestyle the News. If you like what you heard, could you please sidekick that like button into the wall and then uppercut it as it comes back for the combo? And if you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel. We're here every Sunday at 10 a.m. and actually a little bit more now. Let me explain. So we're going to be posting more Freestyle the News in general during the week. Our first special report is going to be on Monday. I wanted to drop it on Friday, but I was just really preoccupied. I had to do a sleep study. I don't know if you know this. I have sleep apnea.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about any of this.
But actually, I've talked with my editors and we have a really good schedule for next week. There's going to be a Monday Freestyle the News and there's going to be a Thursday Freestyle the News. Sort of a midweek update. Our goal is going to be to do 2 to 3 every single week, one special report, one midweek update, and one week update. So it'll be fun. We'll have a good time. And a reminder, we're going to have a new drop of merch coming really, really soon. We already got that really dope Run It Back embroidered hoodie, which, by the way, super fucking comfortable. But I've said enough. Let's get into this lyric breakdown already. And I think we all know what the story of the week was, right? It's the debt ceiling. Every single day, I have heard nothing but things about the debt ceiling. We are either going to default and turn into a weird hellscape akin to Mad Max, or suddenly a bunch of old people are going to decide, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that. This was incredibly frustrating to watch for weeks. For anybody who's wondering, the national debt has been a weird talking point for decades in this country, even though at a larger level, it doesn't really affect us all that much. Really, honestly, I'll link to a giant video about why below, and you can just take a look at it. It's a deep dive into it. But 100 million%, it has been frustrating to watch politicians act like, hey, maybe we should just default and watch the economy crater, then just do the thing we're all eventually going to do. The story is this. Kevin McCarthy and the Republicans wanted significant cuts to Biden's agenda. Biden wanted to, not default and also not lose a lot of his agenda. There were talks over weeks, oh, we're far apart, oh, we're close together, and then at the 11th hour, oh, hey, we have a deal. We can move forward and make it work. And then a bunch of House Republicans are like, I don't know if I want to vote for this. They're in the press, hemming and hawing, like, oh, you gave in to fucking Biden's agenda and Hunter Biden's gonna have another laptop and it's gonna be crazy. But even after all that hemming and hawing, it actually passed the House. And right when it's about to go to the Senate, Bernie Sanders releases a statement, I can't in good conscience vote for this bill. Fucking Bernie, you can't go around for the last 2 years and say, hey, you should vote for the greater good, and then all of a sudden say you're not voting for the greater good. Default would have been catastrophic to every family he's saying he wants to protect. It was such a fucking I don't want to lose my base move that I'm sorry, I just felt really fucking off-put by it. Honestly, in the context of this, it was a very politician move. And I like Bernie, like a lot. So yeah, I was very disheartened by that, but let me know what you think in the comments. But I think we can all agree either way, whether we like it or not, is that all these people fucking work for us and they are doing a bad job. When I was writing this, I couldn't help but feel like, oh my God, the Supreme Court, the Senate, and the presidency have been so out of touch for the last few years. All of these people's jobs depend on whether we like them or not, and they don't have positive approvals. They're all disapproved of in some way, shape, and or form by a large majority of people. And they live off of the apathy in this system, and while there's apathy, they make more rules to make engaging with the system way fucking harder. It's like one of my biggest pet peeves is people like, oh, I can do whatever the fuck I want, there's no consequences. Everything this week felt like that, honestly. Like the collapse of the building in Iowa. If you haven't heard, in Davenport, Iowa, part of an apartment building collapsed, trapping tons of residents under its debris. Not to mention, the building has asbestos in it, and there were complaints about the building's structural integrity that have just been coming out as the week has gone on. And now they're saying they're going to end the search for some survivors when a lot of people have still not been found. And the main takeaway from this is a lot of people feel like this could have been prevented. There were numerous warnings about these problems. And again, it's emblematic of politics. We can take care of that later.
Oh shit, it's here.
Anyway, I'm getting frustrated at politics. Let's move on to entertainment, where The Little Mermaid is getting review bombed. If you didn't know, The Little Mermaid released to actually better reviews than most live-action Disney movies, and actually a pretty decent reception. Halle Bailey got Jodie Benson's seal of approval. There's a clip of them just kind of meeting. It's emotional. It's really, really wonderful until motherfuckers decided, that's not my mermaid! And I think the best takeaway from this, and the thing that I just want to stress to everybody, is the movie still made a shit ton of money. As of this taping, it's on the way to passing the original Little Mermaid in terms of box office. Now, if you want to look at backlash, that does work. Target is under fire again for removing LGBTQ items from their store after threats and after just a lot of anger from weird fucking people. And honestly, the LGBTQ community ain't too happy about it. And that has resulted in Target stock free falling. Global media catastrophe. What the fucking mermaid? There's a difference. And speaking of catastrophes, Activision Blizzard. Now there's good news and bad news to this. Good news. Diablo 4, incredible, getting amazing reviews, getting tons of praise from everywhere. But at the same time Diablo 4 dropped, Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision Blizzard, dropped a horrible anti-union story where he plays off the harassment allegations made against the company. It's a really bad story. I go into way more depth on Monday, so I'll talk about it then, but just know it was a fucking bad look. Like they're using the smokescreen of good reviews to cover bad press. Okay, a couple more things before we get out of here. The anti-gay laws in Uganda. Now, this is something I really think that needs to be touched on a lot more. First off, Uganda enacted a lot of recent legislation that is super anti-gay. Like, if you're gay, you can go to jail or even be put to death. That is awful. Just full stop. 100% it's awful. It's so awful that fucking Ted Cruz, oh my God, hell froze over. Ted Cruz made a good point. He called out the anti-gay law and said this is fucking inhumane, it's not okay, and in what can only be described as the fucking worst take, a ton of his base was like, why are you going woke? That's too woke? Saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't kill gay people is too woke for you fuckers? And in the same week, Chick-fil-A hired a diversity, equity, and inclusion officer, and they're like, Chick-fil-A's too woke. Chick-fil-A's too woke? If you miss anything on the rubric, you're too fucking woke. And to end on a good note, if you haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse yet, go see Across the Spider-Verse. That movie is probably the best movie I've seen in 3 years. It's so fucking good. Within the first 5 minutes, my jaw did not leave the floor. The animation, the acting, the fucking, the story. I don't want to hear anybody ever tell me that comic book movies are not art or the same shit after seeing that fucking movie. Incredible cinema. And last but not least, people at Taylor Swift concerts are wearing adult diapers because I can't. I'm gonna start doing live shows again soon. If you ever come to a concert of mine, don't wear an adult diaper. There will be a bathroom. You can use it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to give you guys way more new content this week. Again, if you're excited for Street Fighter 6 or you like fighting games, me and Saint Cola just started a fighting game podcast called Let 'Em Cook. It's really, really fun. We talk about what's going on with the game and where the community goes from here. So go ahead, check that out. Anyway, my name's Tabani, and I'll see y'all soon. Let's go!